Okay, it is day 6 of Advent, and we now have our 6th coding challenge to do today, which is very exciting. We got 10 stars. We've got 10 stars so far. Every day we've been able to complete both challenges. And so we've got 2 stars to our name next to every day. And hopefully today we're going to get another 2 stars for day 6, fingers crossed. A little bit more of this is being revealed here, this picture. And I am thinking that this is an island. This is the sea. And then we've got like a little bridge maybe starting to look like it could be. We'll see. So yesterday we managed to board a plane. The whole context of these challenges are that we are going on holiday, and so we're on the plane now. Let's have a look and see where we are today. So customs, day 6. As your flight approaches the regional airport where you'll switch to a much larger plane, customs declaration forms are distributed to the passengers. The form asks a series of 26 yes or no questions marked A through to Z. All you need to do is identify the questions for which anyone in your group answers yes. Since your group is just you, this doesn't take very long. Okay. However, the person sitting next to you seems to be experiencing a language barrier and asks if you can help. For each of the people in their group, you write down the questions for which they answer yes, 1 per line. For example, so on line A, they write down yes. On line B, they write down yes. C and X, they wrote down yes. I guess, is that what you mean? And then this person wrote down yes on A, B, C, and Y. And this person wrote down yes on A, B, C, and Z. In this group, there are 6 questions to which anyone answered yes. A, B, C, X, Y, and Z. Duplicate answers to the same question don't count extra. Each question counts at most once. Okay. Another group asks for your help, then another, and eventually you've collected answers from every group on the plane, which is our puzzle input. Each group's answers are separated by a blank line, and within each group, each person's answers are on a single line. For example, ABC, gap, A, B, C, gap, A, B, A, C, gap, A, gap, B. Okay, so this list represents 5 groups, and each on a different line is a different person's answers. Okay, so the first group contains 1 person who answered yes to 3 questions. The second group contains 3 people. They answered yes to 3 questions, A, B, and C. Blah, blah, blah. We get it. Okay. So wait, these are the counts. So they've counted the amount of questions they answered yes to. Total amount. Contains 4 people. So the fourth group contains 4 people. They answered yes only to 1 question A. So these 4 people, they only answered to 1 question A. Okay. In this example, the sum of these counts is 3, add 3, add 3, add 1, add 1, which gives 11. For each group, count the number of questions to which anyone answered yes. What is the sum of those counts? So, okay, cool. Let's take our test data. This is starting to get like, the last few challenges have been like, cool, yeah, that makes kind of sense. This one's a bit like, but let's get on with it and let's see. So I'm going to get set up. So in order to start, I'm going to make myself a new Python file, day6.py, and I'm also going to make myself a new data file. So I'm going to call this day6data.txt, and that's where we're going to store all of our lovely data. I've just copied my test data, so I'm going to say test data is equal to, and just like every day, we're going to pop this stuff in here. Now I'm going to treat each new line as an empty string because that's how it will come in when we actually read it. So we're going to have ABC, A, B, C. Oh, don't you just love formatting test data? Okay, and then we're going to have comma. We've got a line, so an empty string, and then we've got AB, and then we've got AC. And then we've got another empty string. And then we've got A. Ooh. And then we've got A again. Oh yeah, we've got the 4 A's now. A, comma A. Riveting footage here. And lastly, we've got a space and then B. So space and then B. Lovely. Okay. So we've got our test data in a format that we will expect the other data in. So if it works with our test data, it will work with the rest of our data. And we're just going to chuck that down there. We're going to jump into day 5 and just copy a little bit of stuff. I don't know if we'll need math. I might get rid of it later, but it's okay if we copy that across. Advent of code day 6, and let's hit run. We're solving day 5 still, so let's change this in the .replit file to day 6. Okay, admin has been done. We're now running day 6 data, and also let's just grab our puzzle input while we're at it. Get your puzzle input. Okay, this is madness. Let's have a little scroll down. Yeah, as always, we have an absolute boatload of data here. I could scroll all night through this, but we won't. I'll do Control A to select everything, Control C to copy it, jump into repl.it and jump into my day6 data.txt file, and I will Control V to paste that in. That is 2,043 lines. Wow, that is a lot of data. Okay, so what we need to do is we need a group, I guess, and we're going to look at each group. So we're going to have to loop through our test data, aren't we? So we want to say for, let's say, I in range, and then we want to go up to the length of our test data. Okay, so for every, it's going to count up, it's going to start at 0, which is what this is at position of, if that makes sense, in test data, and then it's going to go up each time by 1. So we need to check if the next line is blank, because if the next line is blank, then our group is over. So I'm going to say if test data, we also need a current position, I guess, as well. So we should say current position equals 0. This is very much like an algorithm I wrote for a previous challenge. So we need to say if current position is less than or equal to I. We only want to do anything if current position is less than or equal to I. So current position will start at 0, and so will I. So it'll be less than or equal to. I will then become 1, and current position will stay at 0. So it will be less than. And then if we ever get to a point where we update current position to so we skip this and go to this because that's the start of the next group, then we'll just the loop will cycle round. So that's why I'm putting this in. So we're going to say if test data at position I plus 1 is equal to an empty string, then we are going to get our group. So our group will equal test data. What will it equal? Test data from from current position to I. Now, I know I can do that to a string. I'm not sure if I can do that to an array. So I'm just going to have a quick look at Python array slice. Jumping between between languages. Okay, yeah, okay, cool. So start and stop. Fantastic. So items start through to stop -1. Okay. Start through the rest of the array. Okay, fab. So we can do that, and it will take a slice. Yeah, cool. Okay, fantastic. So we can see that, which is great. And we want to go up to I plus 1 because we want to be at this position but not including it. So if we have here, for example, if our current position is at position 2, and I plus 1 is this position here, which is 2, 3, 4, 5, then we want to go up to, but not including 5. Okay, and that's what this is saying. It will take from here, whatever this is. So if our current position was 2, it would take that, and it would go up to whatever we've put here, which is I plus 1, which if it was 5, we would want it to actually, yeah, we want it to be here, but we wouldn't want it to include it, and it won't. So that made no sense. I'm sorry. Okay, it's been a long weekend. If test data I plus 1 is a blank, then we're going to say our group is test data current position I plus 1. And now we're going to go through our group. So we're going to say for person in group, and we're going to make a variable called unique answers. No, unique questions. is equal to an empty list, and we're going to say for person in group, and then so our group could literally just be this string, so it could just be this one element in our list, and we want to then go, if it's got multiple things in it, we want to go through each thing individually. So what we want to do is we want to say if, we want to say for answer in person. So our person would be our ABC. Okay, our group is a little. Oh God, let's do some example here with some test data. So our group would be something like this, where we've got an array with, let's say, ABC. So the very first thing, we're just going to get a group with one thing in it. And then when we say for person in group, our person is literally just going to be that one string inside that list, so ABC. And then when we say for answer in person, we're going to start by just having the very first thing in person, which will be A. Okay, so that's kind of how this is broken down here. So for each person in the group, so our group is a list here. And then when we say for answer in person, our person is just the string that was inside that group. And then our answer is just the first character of that string that was the string inside that group. Whoo-wee! Okay, so we want to now check if our answer is in our unique questions array. So if answer is not in unique questions, we want to keep a count as well. Let's keep a tally. These are just adding, right? What is the sum of those counts? So I just need to keep a total counter. Yeah. Just need to keep a total counter. Let's just do count equals 0. And then, so if the answer's not in, it's a unique answer, if it's a unique question, I've called this answer, what are you doing? I've called this answer and I've called this questions, and that's incredibly confusing. So I'm going to say for question in person, if question is not in unique questions, then what we're going to do is we're going to say unique questions dot append our question, and we are going to say count plus equals 1. Now, I don't want to jump the gun here, but I feel like we've done it. Let's test this and see if it does anything. Actually, we need to print out our count at the end as well. So let's print, what are we working out? It's always nice to print, what is the sum of those counts? So I'll just say print sum of counts. Sum of counts, and then let's put a comma because we don't have to convert it into a string then, which is lovely. And let's run this. Oh, and we've got a lovely error. Of course we do, because I'm going +1. I don't want to do that, so I want to go up to len data -1. Let's try this. And we get sum of counts 12. Now, we should be getting sum of counts 11. It's 1 off. Why is it 1 off? Oh, what a nightmare. Okay, so let's have a look and see why this is 1 off. So if question is not in unique questions, we want to add this, and then we want to for each person in the group. And we're going through here, group, yeah, so each group, we're then resetting our unique questions because we're only looking at it per group. They just have to have them when they're the group. Yep. Okay, I've got a feeling it's the way we're getting to the end here. It's this I+1 business. So if test data I+1 is equal to empty string, or test data, or I+1 is greater than or equal to len of our test data is equal to the length of our test data, then we're going to do that. Let's run this. No, it doesn't like that. We need to use double equals. Oh, that's like programming 101. I literally spend my whole day at work just saying, yep, double equals sign, double equals sign. Still 12. That is, oh, it's going to drive me slightly mad. Okay, right. This test data needs to equal 11. The last group contains one person who answered yes to only one question, B. Okay, let's print out the counts at each time. So if question is not in unique questions, let's print the question, and we'll get an idea of what's going on under the hood here. Let's have a look. Okay, A, B, C. Yep, I'm happy with that so far. I'm happy with that. Okay, then we have a blank. Then we have A, B, C. Okay, now the trouble is I have no idea what's going on here, so I'm going to need to print out, what am I going to need to print out? Am I doing this in a thoughtful way? Oh, I'm not updating the current position. Duh. Okay, so once I've gone through everyone in this group, then my current position, such a silly Billy, my current position is now equal to I plus 2. I feel like this happened like when I was doing a similar algorithm the other day. I feel like that exact same thing happened. Let's get rid of this print and let's run this. Okay, now we're getting 10. Somebody help. Oh, no. The answer should be 11. I've managed to get 10 and I've managed to get 11. Okay, let's print out I and question. Let's run this. Okay, so at 0, we get ABC. At I equals 4, we get ABC. Why is that 4? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, and then, okay, yeah. Oh, I guess what I want to be printed out is current position. I thought I was current position. I'm confusing myself. It was easily done. There we go. Okay, so yeah, we got 0 here and it prints out ABC. At position 2 up to 5, we get ABC, which is fine. And then at 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, we print out A, B, and C because they are the 3 unique values. And then 9, we go A. Great. We only get 1A, which is great. And then we just ignore B, which is awkward. I'm sorry, B. I am sorry. So what we want to do is if I plus 1 is equal to the length of test data, then I would be here. Group equals test data from current position to I plus 1. Why isn't that working? Why isn't that working? We are very close to solving this. This is almost done. It's just getting this last B, and my brain is failing me. So we want to essentially just check that we're at the end of the array, and if we are, we just want to do something slightly different, I guess. So maybe I'll do a first if and say if, let's take that, put that here, and say if I plus 1 is equal to length of test data, then we are going to say we just want to say that our group is equal to test data current position to the end. However, if our test data is that, then that, and then we're going to do this. Does that work? Yeah, that works. Fantastic. That works for the wrong reason. No, hang on. So we've got A, B, C. That's fine. And then we've got A, ABC at position 2, which is also fine. And then we have CCC. That's really not fine. That's really not fine at all. Okay, so something bad. Oh, because this is not inside the if. I guess, yeah, it's because it's not inside the if. This needs to be inside the if. So let's say right, let's take this. No one was a nice guy. Be bad. That or that. Then we're going to do this. And then we're going to say if this, then we're going to assign group based on that. So if I plus 1 is the very end of the array, or the next element I plus 1 is a blank space, then we're going to do something. And we're going to assign the group based on whether I plus 1 is at the end of the array, or whether it is an empty thing, okay? And they're going to be two different things. So now if I hit run, we're back at 10. Okay, great, fantastic. That's just what I wanted to see. Why are we not doing this properly? Okay, so this is current position. Why is it ignoring this B? That is super annoying. So our current position will be equal to I plus 2. Can I go up to, will that will just go? No, that actually works. Okay, I got rid of the -1 there and it was happy. Why? That shouldn't. Okay, maybe it's because I'm checking, because I'm being thoughtful about this. So if current position is less than, I guess I'm being thoughtful about this, maybe. Okay, great. Okay, yeah, it's because I'm doing this first, I think, and that's stopping this error from happening, which is exactly what happened 2 days ago, I think. Okay, we've botched our way through this. Let's say helper.refile, and let's read in that lovely data that we got earlier. So we call it day6data.txt, and we're going to call this our puzzle data. Puzzle data equals helper, and if you haven't seen my helper file, it's literally just a little function inside here called refile that I can call from any of these, so it saves me having to rewrite this function every time. Okay, and then what we're going to do is, instead of using our test data, we've hard-coded test data in all over this. See, I've not been very thoughtful about this, so let's change this to part 1. Let's define it. And part 1 will expect some data. And then let's just shunt all of this inside there. I'm going to take that data variable. I'm going to replace test data. So when I double click on it here, I can see all of the instances of it highlighted. Just going through all of them. Now there are no test datas for me. They're all datas, which is lovely. Okay, fantastic. And then we can say, part 1, let's also just take that, push our function up here, our actual program, pop our actual program code down here. Okay, a little bit of a paste issue. There we go. Okay, fantastic. So our program is going to pull in some puzzle data, and then we're going to say part 1, run it with our puzzle data. And we definitely don't want to be printing out. I've done this so many times where it hits an error just as I'm about to be like, no, I'm printing out loads of things. This will go absolutely manic if I have this running, because we've got so much data in that file. So I'm just going to cancel this. When you print out to the console, if you print out a lot, it will actually slow your program down significantly. Now, the reason it's errored is because I called this day6data.txt, but it actually lives in a folder called 2020. So I need to put in 2020/ because it lives in this folder here. So run, exit status 1, name part is not defined. I've just called this part. What a donkey. Okay, let's do part 1. There you go. I can use a keyboard, I promise. Some count 6,351. Is that right? Are we 1 star closer to getting on this holiday? I've forgotten the number already because I'm too excited. 6,351. 6, 3, 5, 1. Could it be? Oh, you have no idea how happy getting that, seeing this little thing here in gold, 1 gold star. Whew! That. There's no better feeling. Okay, we are now 11 stars. We have solved the first part of day 6. Let's go on for our second star. Okay, part 2. As you finish the last group's customs declaration, you notice that you misread 1 word in the instructions. Oh, that does sound like me. That does. It probably was. Yeah, fair. You don't need to identify the questions to which anyone answered yes. You need to identify the questions to which everyone answered yes. Now, this is the route I thought it was going down in the first place, and it didn't. So I should have seen this coming, really. So using the same example as above, so let's have a look at this. I guess in this first one, there's only 1 person, so everyone answered yes on these 3. However, no one answered yes on these 3 because they're all different. A was yes for the first person, B was yes for the second person, and C was yes for the third person. In here, they both answered yes on A, but 1 answered yes on B and 1 answered yes on C. So only A would be valid. So the sum here would be 1, this would be 0, and I'm not sure about the top one. Let's have a look. In the first group, everyone, all 1 person, answered yes. Okay. In the second group, there's no question to which everyone answered yes. In the third group, everyone. Okay. Cool. Okay. So we're going to have to be a bit more thoughtful about how we write this up. So we're going to pass in our data to part 2 again. Now what we want to be doing is we want to be checking to see whether everyone in that group has answered the same question. Okay. So in here, we've got our group here. Actually, I'm just going to copy and paste this whole thing. Let's take that. Let's call this 1. And let's close that up. And let's jump into part 2. You'll notice if you've been watching other days, I've not written many functions for this one. Like yesterday's code was like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 functions. Day 4's was quite a few. I think that was like 6 functions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, 6 functions. Whereas today I've just got 2, and they're just for part 1 and part 2. So a little bit boring. I do apologise. So this is working, and this is going through the whole list. Okay, that's great. This is doing exactly what we want to do. We get our group here, and so we chop up our group's answers. Now what we need to do is be more thoughtful about how we handle our group. So this logic here just needs to change a little bit, and then we'll have our answer. So. Unique questions. I don't know. Oh, okay, yeah, because I'm checking. So we want questions that everyone has answered. Okay, so let's do an example with where's our test data down here? Let's take this example here, A, B, A, C. So if our group is A, B, A, C, what we want to do is we want to go through each letter in here and compare it to everyone else. And then we're not going to call this unique questions, we're going to call this unanimous questions. Unanimous questions. So if it is unanimous, we will add it to the array. Okay. So we're going through each question. And I think then we're going to have to go through everyone else. Okay. let's write a function because I've not written enough today. So let's write a new function. Let's call it def. I'm going to say check letter string, and we're going to say give it a letter, and we're going to. And actually, no, we're going to say get letters, and we're going to have an array of strings. Just like down here in part 2, where we've got this list of strings, this hypothetical list of strings, we're going to give this function our list of strings, and then it's going to go through and do all the heavy lifting. Because we've got so many loops going in here, it's just going to fry my brain if I try and put another thing in. So I'm going to put it in its own function, and that way it will keep me slightly sane. So we're going to get shared letters, and so we're going to go through. We're going to go for do I. Yeah, I think we probably should put I in range, and let's go from the length of our array of strings. And guess what? Yep, we're going for a second loop for j in range. Don't you just love a nested loop? Oh, you know it's going to be a good evening when you're nesting loops together. Okay, and so in this one, we're going to start from position 1, and we're going to go up to the end. In this one, we're going to start from position 0, and we're going to go up to the end 1. So this will check every string against every other string, and I'm going to have a shared letters equals so we've got our array of strings, and now we need to go through each letter in our array of strings. This almost seems like it needs another function in itself. Get shared. I literally can't think of any other function. Oh, let's get shared letters from group, and what we're going to do. No. So what I want to do is I want to break out all of my letters from my group. So I want to take A, B, A, and C and put them into a list. Let's just do that. So let's say create letter array. We're going to give it our array of strings, and we're going to go for a string array of strings, and we're going to have our letter array. This is gonna make things so much easier. So in a second, it's going to become clear. So for string in our array of strings, we're going to say for letter in string, we want to say if letter is not in our letter array. I love being able to write that in Python. It would be so much more complex in other languages, but you just like, yeah, if this letter's not in that array, do this. If letter's not in letter array, then what we want to do is say letter array appends, and we're going to put in that letter. And then at the end of this, we are going to return our letter array. Okay, so our shared letters are going to equal, and I think we don't need two loops now. I could be wrong. I'm just going to shared letters is going to equal create letter array. I'm going to pass in array of strings. This is going to give us a array with all of the letters that are in our group. So in this one, it would give us A, B, and C. Okay, and then when we're comparing these, we are going to knock some of these out. Yeah. So we're then going to go for string in array of strings. And then we're going to say for letter in string. Now, if the letter is in my shared letters, in our array here that we've made, in our letter array, but it's not in this string, so it's not here, then we know it's wrong. It shouldn't be there. So we need to take it out. So at the moment, if I just called shared letters, create letter array, and I had this data, A, B, and AC. So let's do this as our little test. So these for loops. And this is my list, okay? This is what shared letters is. When I say create letter array, what it will actually give back to me is A, B, and C. I'll have an array that looks like this. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through my letter array, my array of strings. So this is my array, and this is my shared letters. Okay? So this is what I pass into the function array of strings. Okay. We then create a new array called shared letters, which uses this function, and by passing in an array of strings, we get this returned to us. So just the unique values from here. Notice we only get one A, not two of them. We're then going to go through our array of strings letter by letter, and when we're looking at, actually we don't need to go letter by letter. For string in array of strings, let's go for letter in shared letters. Yeah. So then what we want to do is when we're looking at this string, we want to check whether this letter is in this string. And if this letter isn't in this string, then we know it's not one that both people have said yes to. So for instance, here, A is in this string, so it's fine. Okay. B is in this string, so that's fine. C isn't in this string, so we would remove C from this array, okay? And then we'll move on to this string, and we'll have a look, and A is in this string, so that's fine. However, B isn't in this string, okay, in AC, so we're going to get rid of that as well. And so we're just left with A, and that is the only one that both have said yes to. They've both got A in them. So for letter in shared letters, how am I going to write this? So for our string in our array of strings, so for these, for letter in our shared letters, which starts as A, B, and C. It really helps to diagram this out in the comments. This is really helpful. For letter, we're going to say if letter not in string, then we want to remove that letter. Can I do array.remove in Python? Have a look. How do we use that? Oh, I didn't specify Python. Remove Volvo. Delete the element that has the value Volvo. Okay, perfect. That's exactly what we want. So we want to say shared letters remove letter. Because we're currently going through the shared letters array, I don't think it will like it. Not sure, but rather than risk it, I'm going to say letters to remove is equal to array. We're then going to add the letter we want to remove to this array. And then at the end, we're going to loop through. So for letter in letters to remove, we're then going to say shared letters dot remove letter, and then we are going to return our shared letters. And by the time you get down to here, we should have removed everything but that A. So we should be left with a list with just that A in, given this test data here. So let's try that. Let's just run this one function and see what we get. So I'm just going to comment. Oh, no, I'm not going to comment this out. I'm just going to come down here. And what did we call this? Get shared letters from group. Do that. Here. And we're going to pass in this array here. And I want to just print. So what this should print out is just a list with the string A in it and nothing else. Let's run this. Yes, it works. Fantastic. Okay, lovely. So let's just test it again with all these A's. So let's put them in here. And that should just return A again. Yep. And let's try A, B, and C. Hey, it didn't like this when there was nothing to remove. So we only want to do for letters in letters to remove if letters to remove is larger than 0. The length of our letters to remove is greater than 0. Then what we're going to do is we're going to go through and remove all these letters. That should fix this. Oh, still doesn't. Okay, line 42. Okay, that's still there. Shared letters. Dot remove. List dot remove X. X not in list. Okay. Print get shared. Okay, yeah. Shared list dot remove. Let's try and print the letter before we try and do that so we can understand where this is happening. Okay, B, C, A, C. If letter, okay, so why is this happening? I've given it A, B, and C. How is it printing out 4 times? Something's gone wrong here. Something's gone very wrong. If length of letters to remove is greater than 0 for letter in letters to remove, I'm going to say letters got removed. If in doubt, just whack a try exception. It works all the time. But, and then we're just going to say oh no. Okay, let's try running that. Yeah, it works. Lovely. And we get an empty array. Fantastic. So it's okay. We'll just botch our way through it and it'll be fine. Okay. So I think this is because it is looking at A and we've got our different values in. So our array of strings in this one down here, A, B, C, would actually be A, B, and C. And when we go through them, what's actually happening is, well, no, that's getting, actually, let's print shared letters here. So look what's going on under the hood. Shared letters, let's run that. Okay, what have I done? Is it the internet or is it my code? Okay, let's stop. Let's try that again. Oh. Please do the internet. Please don't say I bought it. Okay, no, great. Okay, so yeah, we're getting this shared letters array here, A, B, and C. So then it's going through and it's saying, yeah, A is in A, but B is not in A. So I'm going to add B to the letters to remove. So what I actually want to say is if letter not in string and letter not in letters to remove. If it's not already in our letters to remove, then we will add it in there. I think that will probably work. But we kind of solved it anyway. I feel like this might actually cause more problems. So I'm gonna, it's working. Let's not question it. It's just a black box that works and we should respect that. Okay, so let's try this with our test data. So let's run part 2. Actually, have we actually done anything yet? I don't think we have. We've written a function that will return our shared letters. So now what we want to do is we've got our group. We're then just going to add whatever this returns, right? So here we return our shared letters. Really let's return shared letters. So group equals blah. And then we're going to say, get rid of all of that, I think. I think. And then we're going to say, get shared letters from group. And so descriptive, that's what you like. We say, get shared letters from group, and we're going to pass in our group. And then what we're going to do is we're going to store that in a variable. We're going to call that, I don't know, equals. And then we're going to say count plus equals shared letters. But Mr. Johnson, shared letters is an array. Yes, you're absolutely right. We want the length of the shared letters. So if there are no shared letters, we'll add 0 to this. If there is one shared letter, we'll add 1, and so on and so forth. Let's run this and see if we get anything. Ooh, this could be good. This could be good. This could be the answer. Format this nicely. I ran that code without ceremony, and now I've just realised that actually that this is probably the answer. This is probably it. We're probably done now. There was no fanfare, no trumpets, no nothing. Okay. 2,143. Please be the answer. We did it! We did day 6! Oh, I'm so happy, and in 46 minutes as well. What an absolute treat. We now have 12 stars. We've managed to get 2 stars every day. And I feel like I might have made this a little bit more complicated than it needed to be, but we managed to get there in the end. I feel like I'm expecting the difficulty to ramp up, and it's been bearable. It's definitely been bearable. I'm concerned that in a couple of days' time, things are going to get wild here. But we've done it. We've solved it. Let's go back to our Advent calendar. Oh, look at this. We've got kind of more of a bridge here. Whew. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in day 7, which will be tomorrow.